Social activist, author and minister Reverend Steve Chalke MBE is also the chair of the Stop The Traffic Steering Committee. Stop The Traffic is a global coalition campaigning against people trafficking, which Steve believes is a bigger problem now than ever before.
200 years ago, William Wilberforce and friends finally won a victory in this huge battle they'd fought for years, decades, about slavery. In the 450 years that slavery operated within the British Empire, what we call the transatlantic slave trade, bringing people across from Africa and bringing them to the UK and then on to the New World, to the States. In those 450 years, it's estimated about 11.5 million people were trafficked, forcibly removed from their homes and dumped somewhere else, exploited. Today, it's estimated there are probably 27 million trafficked people in the world. So the problem is absolutely massive now. What are the comparisons? Well, first of all, it's often claimed that Wilberforce abolished slavery. Under Wilberforce, slavery was never abolished. It was outlawed, but it's gone from strength to strength. So it's much more accurate to say that William Wilberforce fought for the outlawing of slavery and eventually achieved that. But the slave trader will always find a new way of operating in a new generation. It's estimated that, based on UN figures, that one person is trafficked every single minute of every single day. That equates to 5 jumbo jets full of people a day just are taken, go missing. If one jumbo jet goes down, the whole world mourns and talks about it for weeks. 5 jumbo jetfuls of people a day. It's estimated that the profit on trafficking is more per year. The American government estimate it's more per year than Microsoft earns. The biggest way in which we can help anybody be less susceptible to trafficking is education. Education is the key to most things in reality, because trafficking, being trafficked, is the choice of people with no choices. They become vulnerable to being trafficked because someone comes to their town and says, hey, you've got no employment, but you've got responsibilities to your family. If you'll come with me and sign this, I'll give your family a down payment and I'll give you a job as a waitress in a hotel in a big city. So you've signed a contract that you didn't understand, often just with your thumbprint. Your family's received some money and you are now effectively a slave. If you've got a global problem, you can't solve it on a local or a national basis. You've got to work in a globalized way to join things up. So there needs to be much more a tie-up between police forces, for instance, because trafficking is from continent to continent. There needs to be a lot more research though, because not so much is known at the moment, or not enough is known about the trade routes in people, how they operate and who operates and when they operate. My faith in Christ motivates me to do everything that I do, really. I don't want to imply that I don't make mistakes and that I'm not a hypocrite. I'm as big as a hypocrite as the next guy, and I'm quite capable of doing all things that are selfishly motivated. But generally, I get out of bed because of Jesus and my commitment to him. So my involvement in Stop the Trafficking and the issue of trafficking is a direct outworking of my understanding of what Jesus calls me to do. Can all of this be turned around? The answer is yes. In our generation, we can grant freedom to people. We can ensure that we only buy products that are fairly traded. We can make a difference. We can stop eating chocolate, however much we like it, that's not fairly traded. We can look at the shirts we buy and the clothes that we wear and the carpeting we use. We can begin to join up our lifestyle with the lifestyles of others. And we can stand up for those who have no voice and speak up for them. And we can give so that those who would otherwise be caught in trafficking are granted the freedom because they're given the education and the healthcare that they deserve.